Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Whenever you are watching this, know that I appreciate you. 'Tis I, Jay, and I'd like to welcome you to another day in the daily life of Jay. It is Wednesday morning, January 13th, 2020. It is 8:23 in the AM. And if you can't tell, that big old sun is shining down on my pretty brown face. Why? Because it can. And I'm all right with it. As long as it doesn't hurt me. How are you this morning? How are you doing this morning? This morning, how are you? I'm headed to work if you can't tell. And I don't remember if I said that already. And I've got something in my mouth that I have not had in my mouth in a very long at one point in time addicted to gum. Had to have it. Like a nicotine addict getting rid of the habit. I chew gum constantly. So I've got gum in my mouth. The husband bought, and I don't know how old you are or if you know anything about rainbow bubble gum. As a child, this is something that we had. And it was not the best bubble gum, but it was close. So we went to the grocery store last night. And he saw the rainbow. Now, he'd mentioned it before and said, I wish my teeth were good enough for me to chew this. And we didn't get it. Well, we went to the grocery store last night, and guess what? He decided he wanted to get it. So we got it. And it just doesn't taste like it did when we were kids. And I know that that's because a lot of the additives have been changed. They've been changed. So a lot of the stuff that used to be some of the best tasting stuff to us as children is no longer the best tasting stuff to us as adults because they've changed the ingredients, the chemical makeup, the sugar. So things don't taste the same. That was actually mentioned. I was watching Tiffany Davidson, and she was talking about Honey Smacks cereal and how when she was coming up, and she's younger than me, much younger than me, but she remembers when she was growing up that they weren't called Honey Smacks, they were called something else. And of course, you can't comment on her videos right now because YT closed her videos down amongst others that I watch. But I'm thinking when she says they used to be called something else. I don't remember what they were, but I'm pretty sure it wasn't Honey Smacks. Correct. They used to be called Sugar Smacks because they used to have sugar in them. Sugar. Not this high dextrose, fructose. They used to have sugar in them. And they were a horrible cereal if you thought you were going to, be on a diet or eat healthy. That was not the cereal for it. But that's what they were called. They were Sugar Smacks. And I did enjoy them once upon a time. But it didn't take long for me not to enjoy them because because of the husk that still was on the cereal. That for me was a choke hazard. There was still, to a degree, a little bit of a husk on them. And it's like a wheat cereal, but it's a puffed wheat, covered in sugar. And the way that it was covered, I believe, prevented a part of the husk from coming off as it should have. So from time to time, I would, because there was the husk on it. So I stopped eating them. And it wasn't that it was a common cereal in my household, because it was a brand name cereal and we could not afford on a regular basis brand name cereals. But it was common enough where I had to get to a point where I was like, I can't, Mom, I can't. So yeah, this gum took me back to my childhood as far as the packaging is concerned, but the taste, not so much. Baby, get warm. Not so much the taste. And I told my husband immediately last night that this was not our childhood bubble gum. This vehicle, which I knew I was going to have to do because he's hauling countertops, granite and marble. Kind of slow. So I will be spitting this out momentarily. It doesn't, even the flavoring, like each color was a different flavor. Even that you can't really distinguish between one another. So yeah, it's a little disappointing, especially since it's something I've not been doing in quite a while. So usually when you stop doing something, it's worth you breaking it. When you do it again, usually, not everything, usually. So yeah, it really wasn't even worth me breaking it, but I tried a piece of gum this morning thinking maybe I wasn't tasting it right, you know? But no. So I am going to, I am not going to have any more of this. That's the plan. If I'm going to have some gum, it's going to be gum that is delicious for me. And that's usually a minty gum or one that actually has real sugar in it. So yeah, that was a little bit of a rant. A little bit of one. Just a little bit. My gums rather, and basically my tooth is really starting to bother me. It's really starting to bother me. It's the wisdom tooth back here. It's the one that I was supposed to have a root canal on 2 years ago at this point, and that didn't happen. And then I went to another dentist. I've gone to 2 dentists that said do a root canal. But then I went to a 3rd dentist, and this dentist says it's not worth you getting a root canal. It's not worth it. Just have them remove the tooth. We'll, recommend an oral surgeon so that you can have the tooth removed. It's not worth you spending the money to get a root canal. What are you saving the tooth for? You don't need it. Just have them remove it. So, and that was earlier last year. Like we were still in the pandemic, but it was like towards the beginning of the pandemic. I say we were still, as if we've left the pandemic. No, we're still in it. The fact that I haven't gotten my breath back 100% lets me know we're still in it. Yeah, the fact that my voice still isn't back 100% lets me know that we're still in it. I can't still taste or smell 100%. So yeah, we're still in the pandemic. But it was like in the summertime, just at the start of summer, that I went to this particular dental office, and she's like, girl, just have them take it out. We can't do it here. We'll recommend an oral surgeon. Just let them take it out. It ain't worth you saving. And she's right, because most people have their wisdom teeth removed. As a matter of fact, I remember having 2 of mine removed as a child, and I thought that I'd had all 4 of them removed, but then I found out, no, girl, you still got 2. Yeah. So this unpleasant one back here is the one that needs to be removed. The 2 on the top are the ones that were removed as a child. So, like I said, the time frame. Towards the beginning of the pandemic, towards the beginning of summer, like just as summer is starting, is when I went to this dental office, and I never got the referral. So they reached out to me in, I think, October, November, and I explained to them, I still don't have the referral. You keep telling me to come in and get this cleaning. I'm not concerned about the cleaning because I need a tooth pulled, and I haven't had the I haven't gotten the referral for the oral surgeon yet. So yeah, no, until I get that, I'm not considering coming back into your office. So they were supposed to send me the referral then. Never got it. And even confirmed my email address, which is correct. I don't know what they're typing in, but it's not getting to me. So yesterday I got another text from them, another text talking about coming in for the cleaning. You know, you need to have your cleaning. You got to get your teeth cleaned. Get clean, and some more clean. And yes, they're correct. I do need a cleaning. It's been a year since I've had a cleaning. So yeah, I need a cleaning. However, as I said to her in the text, once again, I have yet to receive the referral for the oral surgeon. So I'm not even considering coming into your office for anything else until I get the referral to the oral surgeon. And she responded with, oh, wow. I saw in our records that you were supposed to have that done a while ago. And one was said, no, I never got it. Is this your email address? Yeah, that's my email address. Okay, I'm going to send it there too. She did actually give me a referral in the text message, which I kind of figured just in the last week that this is what I was going to get, because just in the last week I've heard them on their radio commercials talking about a particular oral surgeon that they've partnered with. So I knew that when she said that, you know, when I told her that they hadn't sent me the referral yet, that was going to be the referral that they finally sent. So I don't know who they had before. I don't know who they had before, but if they had someone really before, but they finally sent me someone. But now I'm like, I don't even know if I want to go to whom they are recommending, because I mean, you're connected to this person. They are a reflection of you. You are a reflection of them. Do I even want to deal with someone who you are referring me to based on how you've treated me? And this is supposed to be one of the elite, if you will, dental offices, or, you know, premier dental offices. So if this is how you treat people who at the time when I went had decent insurance, it's not like I had some flimsy insurance where they had to wait for, and a lot of places, and this is nothing, there's absolutely nothing wrong with individuals who have to have this insurance, because insurance is insurance. You got to get some insurance. But a lot of times offices, especially dental and vision offices, won't accept like insurance that is assisted by the government or initiated by the government, because it takes so long for the government to pay them. So it's not like I have government issued insurance or government assisted insurance. This was insurance that I was paying for through pay job, and it wasn't HMO. It was a PPO, which is more expensive if you don't know. And this was supposed to be a premier, like I said, a premier office, an elite office. But if this is how you handle your business, then maybe it's time for you to reconsider some things. So, and I will say this. There is nothing wrong with expansion if the expansion is handled properly. There's nothing wrong with expansion if the expansion is handled properly. Like, there is no way that I would open up an office for my coaching services right now, because it just doesn't make sense. There are many people that will start a business and they do very well for maybe the first year, or maybe even the second year. They don't do so great the first year, but they do wonderfully well the second year, and maybe on their way into the third year they're doing pretty good. So they decide at the end of that third year that they want to open up a different office. So they open up a different office. They open up a second office, and great, it's a great office. It looks wonderful. But were you really ready to open up that office? Because you may not have your customer service professionals. They may not be a true reflection of the kind of business that you want to put out in front of people and advertise to people. Everybody that works customer service should not be in customer service. They may not know how to run your office properly. That's one of the things that I'm really very conscious of as an office manager. Am I running the office properly? And where I find, being honest with myself, where I find the mistakes, the flaws, the things that need improvement, guess what? I work on those things. So expansion is good, but it's, it has to be done right. It has to be done right. You got to have the right people in place to run your expanded space. You know what I'm saying? So, and this office has a great amount of growth because of how they advertise, and they get a lot of people, a lot of referrals because of the advertising that they do. But if not everyone is up to snuff on the customer service side, you're going to have an issue. And that's where I feel like this particular company, this particular dental office, even though they may offer great services, their customer service side is kind of lacking. And it makes it difficult for me, someone who takes customer service really very seriously, to continue to patronize your business. So I actually just may go to the oral surgeon that the husband's doctor referred him to first I'll see how they do with the husband, and then depending on how they do with him, I may just utilize them. He finally was able to get a referral from his doctor about some dental work that he has to get done, and they have to surgically do the work. It's not like he can just go to the dental office and they extract the teeth. No. This is going to be one of those procedures where he literally has to go under anesthesia to have the work done. They are removing all of the uppers. They're keeping the bottoms, but they got to take out all the uppers. So the whole point to the rant that I just went on was my gums are aching, and I really believe it's because I chewed when I bit down on an almond yesterday. It was positioned, I guess, in a crazy way, and it scraped my gums. And because my gums are sensitive anyway, because of that tooth that needs to be removed, it has brought about a great deal of pain and discomfort. So I did take something for it last night. I'll probably take something more for it this morning. But yeah, I'm not having a good time right now with my It was even painful to brush that tooth and that area. I don't have a tooth in front of the wisdom tooth, which I think is why all the other two dentists kept saying get a root canal, because they were concerned about my teeth shifting on the bottom. And also because I was thinking about getting a partial for the bottom, so that I could have some teeth here and be able to bite down without damaging my gums. But at this point in time, just because it is causing me so many issues, I just say, just take it. Just yank the sucker. Get it. All of it. And the only reason that I have to have an oral surgeon remove it is because of the way the root is growing or has grown. A good portion of the root of your teeth is straight up and down. There might be a slight angle on your back teeth, especially your wisdom teeth if you still have them. There might be a slight angle, but mine is almost an L, meaning, oh, thank you so much, sweetie, for getting out of the way, because I was concerned about your driving. Meaning, instead of it being curved, instead of it having a slight bend, a slight curve in it, it actually almost looks like it looks like the tooth is lying down. It looks like it's lounging. You know how you're on a chaise and you're laying back and your head is here, but your body is like straight out? Yeah, that's what that root looks like. The tooth itself, look, you are kind of close. I thought you were. You're too close. Stay in your lane. The tooth is like the head and the root is like the body, and it's lounging in my gums. So that's the best way I can explain it. With me driving, I can't show you an example with my hand of what it's doing right now. Thank you. Because I'm driving, and I'm driving around some people who are just having a difficult time staying in their lane. Which, I mean, I did just now too, but there was no one beside me. And usually when we hit that curve, it is hard to stay in your lane. But he had a tough time staying in his lane before we even hit the curve. And I do mean curve, not curb. So many people call a curb a curve. I don't know why. Why is that? Can you tell me? Why does that happen? Yes, I am on a tangent today. I am just rambling. I am all over the place. Did I sleep last night? I did a little bit better with the sleep last night than I did the night before. So that might be it. I don't know. That might be it. Or it could just be that I got a lot on my mind and I'm releasing some of the pressure from my brain, so that I can get some of this stuff out. And I will try to show you an example of what I'm talking about for my tooth when I get stopped. The video for this morning has not gone up yet. I've had some technical difficulties. My internet keeps falling off. It keeps falling off. I could have the video formatted. I could be signed into my account, and before I can upload the video, it's fallen. So, and it keeps happening, and it's frustrating. It's frustrating as crap. It's frustrating. So I have to figure out, and I don't want to use my phone or my tablet as a hotspot to make it work, but I might have to, just so that I can get the videos up, because the video for this morning is ready. when I left the house. I left it going. So it will be ready by the time, hopefully by the time I get home, it will be ready. It won't shut off on me. And then I can format the one for Friday when I get home. Well, I can format the ones for the weekend. Because as I've said, you're gonna get a full 7 days of videos. Because all of last week is going on this week, but then I also have parts 1 and 2. Parts 1 and 2 of my personal COVID journey. I'm gonna have those go up on Saturday and Sunday if I can get this internet to working properly. Or as EJ Speaks says, Obama's internet. I don't know why she says that. I'm gonna have to do a little bit of research and ask why. You know, why you call it Obama's internet? I don't understand. Help me. Oh, son, I love you. But between the sun and this heat I got going, baby, I'm hot. And it's going to be difficult for you to see the example. Okay, that helped a little bit. So typically your tooth is sitting, this is the gum, and your tooth is sitting on top of the gum. And then your root is down here, you know, like this. Your root, the tooth is here. Let's just say the ring is the tooth. How about that? Let's say the ring is the tooth. So this is the gum doing what it does. This is the tooth, the ring is the tooth. And your root is down here, typically like this. Sometimes it's like that. Sometimes it's a little bit like that or like that. Well, the root of my tooth, well, first of all, my tooth is on an angle because it's the wisdom. So it's on an angle. It's on an angle because it's the wisdom tooth. So if this is the front of my mouth, my tooth is like this. Can you see the angle that I'm making? I know it's a little difficult because of the lighting, but the tooth is like this. So instead of the root being straight up and down or even slightly bent, well, it would be this way, or slightly bent, it is actually, and let me use this hand so that I can, nope. Yeah. So instead of it being slightly bent, it's actually like this. So it's almost forming an L. Like literally. Instead of it being like this or like that, it's like this. And so that would make it difficult for them to do an actual simple extraction, which is probably why they said do a root canal instead of an extraction, because it might be easier to just go in there and do the root that way. But either way, I have to go to an oral surgeon because it's not as simple as the dentist pulling the tooth up and out. This is at a tremendous angle. So they want the oral surgeon to go in and cut my gum and get it out that way, which is going to cause a tremendous amount of pain afterward. And I'm not looking forward to that. However, I am looking forward to not having the pain that I'm having now, or any other kind of pain. Because when it first started hurting me, I mean, I thought, like seriously, I thought that I had TMJ. And if you don't know what TMJ is, take a look, do some research. But it's essentially where the bone in your jaw starts disconnecting or locking up, the lower from the upper, if I'm remembering correctly. So if it locks up, it's painful for you to actually move it. Or if it if it locks up, it's painful for you to move it. But if it disconnects, it's also causing pain because it's not connected. So I thought that I had a case of TMJ because the pain was excruciating and it was shooting up and into my ear, throwing off my balance, all kinds of stuff. But not only was it shooting up, but it was shooting down and out and causing pain in my neck and my shoulder. So I really thought that maybe I had a case of TMJ. So when I went to the dentist and they told me that it was the wisdom tooth and the root giving me problems, I was relieved, but at the same time I was like, crap, that means, you know, I got to get a root canal. And I've had those before, and they're not pleasant. But I've also had extractions before, and they're not pleasant. As a matter of fact, I have had more extractions than root canals because I used to be on government insurance, and because that's all they did was pull the tooth. They didn't do any preventative maintenance other than the yearly cleaning, the yearly exam. They didn't do preventative or salvage. They just took the suckers out. So I have a lot of teeth missing because of that. When I was younger, my mom was on government assistance. That's the insurance that we had. When my children were younger, there were periodic times when I was on government assistance. So that was the insurance that I had. So I had to do what the insurance would pay for. So yeah, I got a lot of teeth missing. A lot. And you can see, like, from time to time when I smile, you can see that there's one missing over here. Actually two. And that's because the insurance that I had, that's what they did. But then when I started getting decent insurance, we talked about partials. And I have had partials. After I had my teeth straightened, my upper teeth straightened with braces, I did have a partial, but it was so uncomfortable that it just wasn't worth me continuously trying. And it wasn't that I didn't give it an opportunity. They, like, literally, they molded my mouth, just what they do with any partials. They mold your mouth and they create the partials from the mold. Well, nothing had changed from the time the partials were ready until the time that I actually got them. They were just extremely uncomfortable, cutting into my gums, cutting into the teeth that were holding them. And that just... Oh, I could be running out of time too. But I do have sensitive teeth in certain areas. So I had to be really very conscious of that. And I tried it. I really did. I tried to wear those jokers and it just was not working. They were so uncomfortable that I stopped wearing them. So, I just deal with having the space. I just deal with having the space because it was too uncomfortable to have the partials in. Now, a couple of the dentists that I've seen since we've been here have suggested that I do partials again. I might, if we can get some that actually fit better, aren't as uncomfortable. I cannot get implants for anyone who may be thinking, well, why not just get implants? I cannot. I've examined that possibility already. And my gums are too shallow for me to get partials. So they would be drilling right into my nasal passages. And that will cause more issues. So implants is what I wanted at first. I mean, that was my first thought, my first consideration, my first option was to get implants. But now I could get them on the lower if I wanted, but I'm only missing 2 on the lower. That's all. So I could get 2 on the lower if I wanted. But I would not be able to get any on the upper. And I need 3 up here. 1, 2, 3. But again, my gums are, the bones in my jaw and my gums are too narrow, too shallow for it to be of a true benefit to me. So I cannot get them. So that is why we are examining or thinking about, or that's why I am thinking about the possibility of partials, because it'd be nice to have some teeth again in those places where I don't have teeth. Be nice, but I'm not going to stress it. If I don't, I don't. I've lived a considerable amount of years without them. And the only discomfort is if I chew or bite down on something that is difficult, or is hard rather, and it scrapes my gums. That doesn't happen often because I've learned not to do that. I've learned to be much more cautious about it, but with certain things you don't know. Like, I had no clue that I was going to bite down on that almond like that because it was positioned so weird. No clue. So yeah, that's my dental history. And it's probably doesn't have much time because I didn't take the video off from yesterday. That's why I didn't take the video off from yesterday. My coworker is here. She's probably thinking I'm inside since I'm sitting over here in the van, or she sees the van, but she probably doesn't see me. And she's a young girl. I love her. She's so, we talked about this yesterday. She's extremely mature for her age. Extremely mature. We were talking about age yesterday, and I don't even remember how we got onto it, but we were talking about age yesterday, and she said that she did not realize how old I was. She didn't believe that I was as old as I was. And I was like, yeah, girl, I am. She says, I never would have guessed it. But then she said something that was so sweet and funny at the same time. She says, and I don't mean to sound racist, but I've heard that, no, she says, I don't mean to sound racist, but I've noticed that a lot of times you can't tell how old Black people are, or something along those lines. And I just bust out laughing. She's Hispanic, she's Latino, and it was hilarious to me. And I says, well, you know, we do have that saying, black don't crack. We do have that saying. We own that. So yeah, that was so funny. That was so funny. So to get, and I always appreciate that compliment, because that means I do not look like what I've been through. And I'm so grateful to God for that, because I could look like what I've been through. And I did explain to her that, you know, quite honestly, unless we live really rough lives, we typically don't look our age. It's just not something that happens for us. And this is something that I've noticed, not just in my immediate community, but Black people in general. It's what I've noticed from the actors and actresses, the speakers, in all genres of life, in all economic compartments. We just a lot of times don't look our age, compared to other races or nationalities. We just don't look our age. So for her to say that, it just made me feel good, because she's not, of course, the first person that said it, but it always makes me feel good to hear someone say, you don't look your age, because that says to me, I don't look like what I've been through, and I've been through some stuff. I don't look like what I've been through, and I'm grateful to God for that. So on that note, I will say, peace and blessings. Remember to walk in your purpose and know that I appreciate you.